Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 805 Post Show. What a big day for pro surfing. Kicking off opening day for the women at stop number 2 of the season at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. It's been magic. Look at the sky. Look at the waves that we had. It was an all-star day here at Sunset. Clean conditions. The trades came up. The swell got bigger. All in all, it was a win for sure. Thanks for being with us on the 805 Post Show. Joe Turpel, Felicity Palmatier, and Jesse Mendez. I ran into Luke Egan earlier. His incentive to Caroline Marks to get out of her opening round heat and skip the elimination round. He's like, hey, if you don't, you're going to be surfing heats for 100 minutes today. And that's a lot of time in a jersey, especially at Sunset, how demanding that was. I looked at the elimination round. No one survived, who had to surf that extra heat today. None of them are in the quarterfinals. So that was a big deal.
For sure. Really big deal. But today was just a beautiful day of surfing. We had so much action. The conditions were dreamy all day long. We saw that swell slowly start to push in, and we still got some really high seeds left in this draw.
So true, Flick. Jesse, any one standout for you from today, or is there kind of a few contenders for finals day tomorrow?
I think there's a few contenders. I think the biggest standouts for me was actually losing Tyler and Sally that early, like in both events. Like 9th place for doesn't translate to their surfing usually, and that's just how it rolls sometimes surfing.
Yeah, big upsets. Tatiana Weston Webb, surprising for me as well that she didn't get into the quarterfinals. Her backhand didn't really fire in the first round, and then she got herself into gear, and the trouble continued in that last heat. So moving forward to Portugal, the title race is getting really serious.
Yeah, it is. And with, number 1 and 2 seeds still left in that draw, I think it's going to be a really exciting finals day. And I feel like Molly's hungry to get one back on Katie.
That was an interesting heat for Molly, wasn't it? Molly and India Robinson spent the first, 10 minutes, maybe more, Jesse, just kind of paddling up the point. They kind of made mistakes with priority. Molly actually missed her first wave. It was kind of a wild start.
It was very wild. That's how it kind of is when it's slow. People tend to push themselves until the priority rolls in. But, yeah, Molly's just looking great. She looks on rail. She's just clean surfing and solid wave selecting. Very good.
Looked great. 7.5, 7.17 once she got engaged in it. India Robinson got up to a 6.5, so kept herself in the heat.
For sure. India definitely kept herself in the heat. This wave obviously really similar to the Bells Bowl, which she's so used to. But, yeah, it wasn't a match for Molly. She dropped 2 7s after all that, hustle and bustle in the first half, in their non-priority heat, and a few little mistakes made. But I think both women were just really hungry to beat each other too, and really assertive, and that's why they were so slow in that opening part of that heat.
Picklum was really good at just turning the page. Once she missed the wave, I talked to her after. She's like, what can I do? I just got to move on. And she was able to let a wave go with priority. India didn't get the score. And then she closed it out. One turn section, 7.17. I mean, that's what she's capable of out here.
Totally, yeah. She's so good at capitalizing in those moments. She's very progressive for women surfing, and that layback was very critical. It was in the end of the heat, she had already made it pretty much. I think it was 5 seconds left, and India wasn't riding any waves. So she had a little bit of freedom, but you can't take it from her. That was critical.
Yeah, and also coming off her success at Pipeline into Sunset, and when you have a roll on winning, sometimes it doesn't matter what it looks like. Even with mistakes in the first half, she still has that winning type momentum, and she's into another finals day.
For sure. And I think Molly's just continuing on that momentum that she had at Pipe. And for me, she was the standout surfer all event. She just couldn't convert in the final. She had that higher score, but it was Katie's day. I think she's continuing with that momentum here at Sunset, and she's obviously won out here before. She's getting her first tour victory, so she's going to be super dangerous.
We were all on the edge of our seats watching this last matchup of the day, round of 16, heat number 8, with Betty Lusakura Johnson and Sally Fitzgibbons. And we're really focused because Sally's a weapon out here, one of the vets back on tour, and Betty Lou had that 9.17 earlier, Jesse.
Yeah, Betty's been a standout on the event, and Sally's just a veteran, doesn't commit many mistakes. Sakura, I think, on this wave right here? No, wasn't this wave. Yeah, that's the wave she turned the heat around. Just one big turn, just solid surfing, and right here I thought was very gutsy from her. She had priority. Sally wasn't near this wave, and she just wanted to better her second score, and she did that. Right here, she finished it off very strong and bringing it home.
For sure, it was really close heat. I mean, there was less than a point sort of separating the heat totals, and unfortunate for Sal. I mean, she's got so much experience out there. You can see she's got that crease in the board. But, I mean, I think she's been surfing out here as early as like 2009, right? So when you add up all that experience, it just feels weird to say that she's already out of the draw, because I think she was looking really on fire this morning.
And you check out the numbers there, and she didn't get smoked by any means. She was in the mix. It was very competitive. Even had that high single score by a touch in the matchup. And Betty Lou was able to hang on with some good decision making and move on into finals day. Jumping on some Pizels for this event as we focus in on the finals day bracket, which Kevin Walsh from Surfline saying probably tomorrow. Molly Picklum versus Lakey Peterson. That's a little J-Bay final rematch from last year. World number 1, Katie Simmers, has a former Sunset champion, Brisa Hennessy. Then the back half of the draw, reigning world champ Caroline Marks, last year's runner-up at Sunset, has Joanne DeFay, who made some veteran-type moves, just finding a 7+ ride when it was really challenging to get good ones. And then Isabella Nichols getting on a roll, but she's going to have to deal with a local standout with Betty Lou Sakura Johnson. Let's really focus on quarterfinal number 1. Molly Picklum taking on Lakey Peterson. What are your thoughts on that one, Flick?
Oh, it's these women are both really, really good friends. They, spent a lot of time together and in the water together, traveling through America last year after the end of the season. And I mean, Molly she's obviously got that momentum. She's won out here before, but today Lakey was looking on fire. She scored, I think it was an 8-point ride for 2 turns. So Lakey is going to be a really, really good heat, and I try not to get too ahead of myself, but the next heat has Katie in it. If Molly was to win this, it would be a rematch of the final at Pipe, which would be exciting, but you can't count Lakey out.
You're allowed to get excited about things that may or may not happen. Yeah, the draw's looking great. Then quarter 2, we've got Katie Simmers taking on Brisa Hennessy. This is a big one here, Jesse.
Yeah, that is a big one. And as far as experience and power, I have to pick Brisa on this side. I think what she's done here in the past and what she actually did today, she just looks solid. Had in-form Gabby Bryan, which is probably one of the toughest draws to go against, and yeah, she's carrying some momentum.
That was one big shock for me today, that Gabby Bryan's out of the event. 2 previous semifinals. Brisa got the jump on Gabby. Katie Simmers had a very close heat with her longtime childhood rival Sawyer Lindblad, and it was a very close. It was like less than 9-point totals on both sides. So I think Katie's got more to show heading into finals day as well.
Definitely. We got a few words out of her in the channel from Strider, and you could tell that she was a little bit disappointed. She didn't really feel like she got to show her true surfing out there. And Katie made quarterfinals out here last year. I think she's got a lot more to give, but I think I've got to go with Jessie on this one. I think Brisa's just looking so strong. Her wave selection out here is on point. And the heat she had with Gabby could have easily have been a final.
She has a lifetime of experience getting pushed out of her comfort zone by local legends like Gahea Hart. She put in so much time out here, about 12 years of age. It made sense that Sunset was the very first CT win for Brisa Hennessy.
Yes, and also for the Hawaiian surfers, they have the advantage to grow up surfing this wave, mostly on the women's side. The men's side, you have the whole Key West. You kind of prepare yourself for this moment. But on the women's side, we never really had events. So most of these girls barely surfed any heats out here, or barely even surfed out here. So have the advantage of surfing junior pros growing up, and yeah, all the time spent in the water. It plays into her favor.
Very true. We had a very special moment for the Rising Tides program presented by Pura Vida, where local girls got to watch their favorite surfers up close at Pipeline.
Caitlin Simmers at back door. Simmering, boiling on the stove and coming out. Caitlin. Wow.
This is such a cool experience for these girls, because a lot of times for Rising Tides, they get a chance to be in the water. But today, they're going behind the scenes. How are you guys? They get the all-access pass to how these women prepare for their heats, to what they walk down to all the media that is down here, all the things that you never really take into consideration when you're trying to figure out, what do I need to do to become a pro surfer? They're getting to see that firsthand today. They're rooting on the surfers, cheering them back in. It's an awesome moment for these young girls.
We I've surfed small pipe.
Yeah, we surfed
small
like
pipe.
really
Couple
small
I
pipe.
surfed like 3-foot pipe with Moana.
She does a thing called the Moana Surf Club, and we go different places usually every time. And one time, I think it was kind of big, and we went to pipe down over there, and it was so fun. And Moana's such a great teacher.
She's one of the best surfers and queen of pipe.
Rising tides, it's all in the name. A rising tide raises all ships, and that's what we're trying to do, is create more access for these young girls to see that there is an opportunity for them to chase their dreams, become pro surfers. This is the moment for these girls where they can start to put those pieces together so that someday it's them running out here for their finals day at Pipeline and the next generation of young girls rooting them on.
Rising tide!
Such an incredible program. We love watching the next generation. First of all, get to meet their heroes, but it's going to happen sooner than later. They're going to be in the finals at Pipe, at Sunset, and really enjoying their life on the Dream Tour. As we've gotten to a really cool part of the 805 post show, it's time for the Cup Noodles Wave of the Day. Betty Lou, how you feeling? Barreled a hack combination here, Flick.
This was absolutely mental. I loved it. Just pulled in, got shacked, and then belted that last section. Really reminded me of Griff in that heat with Cade. Just really similar. Pulled into a barrel, didn't know she was going to make it out, and then really put it all on the line there for that last maneuver. That last maneuver was really tricky too. She came down with the explosion, and yeah, what a wave, 9.17.
Oh, such a solid performance. You know, she's just happy because she's filled with adrenaline. That's the kind of surfing that she brings to the top 17. Speaking of Betty Lou and that Cup Noodles Wave of the Day, let's hear from her right now with AJ.
Joe, the only thing better than taking home the Cup Noodles Wave of the Day is taking home another heat win for Betty Lou Sakura-Johnson, moving on to quarterfinals yet again. Walk us through for this heat how you stuck to your strategy to get your ticket into the quarterfinals.
Yes, I mean, with the overlapping heats, me and Ross were just discussing, like, trying to stay busy in the beginning half and then really capitalize on, you know, your priority time out there. And yeah, it ended up working out. It was pretty grindy out there. Me and Sally were kind of close in scores, and I couldn't really find that great of a wave the beginning half. But thankfully I got one, and it ended up being a backup, so happy to move forward.
Well, and when you have a strategy like that, how important is it for you to see yourself succeed in multiple ways, right? You had this massive wave in the first heat today, and then this one was more of a grind it out, but the end result was the same. How important is that for you?
Yeah, super important. I mean, either way, a heat win's a heat win. No matter if you surf like really good, you got 9s and 8s, or, you know, you could even make a heat with 2 4s even. So, yeah, just happy to get through. Usually the grindy ones are the ones that keep you on your toes, but yeah, once you get through those, it makes you feel really good, and you just got to keep that confidence going into the next round.
How do you move on from this one? Get ready for quarterfinals tomorrow.
Yes, I'm super excited to be back into finals day. That's my goal this year for every event, really, just to make finals day and get those good results. But other than that, yeah, just keep improving my surfing, surf the way I surf, and try not to let you know, heats and everything, competing, dictate the way I surf. So yeah, I'm excited.
Sounds good. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Wow, she's still a Grom, and she's dominating, learning so much. Originally fell off at the midseason cut. Last year had a whole year on tour, missed Tahiti with the shoulder surgery, and she's obviously better than ever. Huge performance at Pipe, into finals day at Sunset. What more could you say about Betty Lou right now?
Well, she looks determined to me, and I think she's going to be very, very dangerous again. She's dropping really high scores, just like what we saw down the road at Pipeline. And, yeah, another person that's going to have just continuing with that momentum. That's what I'm seeing.
She has Bella Nichols in the quarterfinals on finals day, but she's also winning in different ways. Like she mentioned, getting 9s when they're there and also adapting when the conditions change.
Yeah, and that's what it takes for you to be in a top 5 or be a world title contender. Like, you got to scratch to those weird heats. We saw John a few days ago going through the only like 2 5s. And you expect so much more from him out here, but he just got the job done. Sometimes that's just how it rolls.
And also Betty Lou, free agent for surfboards. Channel Islands at Pipe, Pizels so far at Sunset. If you could shape great boards, try to get in there. What if you get signed with Betty Lou? That'd be a huge deal. Let's check out the Surfline forecast. Kevin Wallace told us in person that he's thinking it's tomorrow where we're crowning champions. We have 2 days left in the waiting period. Flick?
Yeah, for sure. Currently now you're looking at this satellite image. You've got that big storm, and that's what was showing that cleaner mid-sized northwest swell, which is building, and it's going to hold to Wednesday, and so they start to ease through to Thursday. So I've got to echo what Kevin Wallace says. I reckon we could be on tomorrow.
Jesse?
Yeah, I'm with you, Flick. Like, it's looking promising for tomorrow. The winds are favorable as well. East, southeast, it's straight offshore. And the waves are firing today. And tomorrow looks very similar. If it stays the way it's staying, it's going to be fireworks.
Look at that. 2 great choices tomorrow, and one will be for the world's best. The other will be given to these amazing locals that live here on the North Shore of Oahu. It's actually really uncrowded right now, believe it or not.
Surprisingly, that's true.
There's it's super clean and really fun as we've gotten to another great part of the 805 Post Show. The top 5 of the day, and this is a big one. Number 5 on the list, rookie Sawyer Lindblad survives after getting that interference called on her. Low score cut in half, still made the heat.
Yeah, this was super impressive. You can see how confused she is. I got to hear her after she came up from this heat. She didn't even know that that was a rule and that you could get an interference doing this. So to convert and change your mindset and come back with a score like this and still get through the heat with an interference, really impressed with this rookie.
That was so impressive. Number 4, Brisa Hennessy on a roll, Jesse.
Yeah, Brisa's definitely on a roll. Just her surfing out here suits so well. You see the second turn, just so much power leaning into that rail and just able to identify good waves as well, which is half of the job done out here at Sunset. And just, yeah, very clean and amazing surfing from Brisa overall.
So powerful, trusty Glenn Pangs have helped her earn a lot of points in her career at Sunset Beach as she's looking for her second event title as she's moving on into finals day. Also coming in number 3 on the daily top 5, Molly Picklum moves into the quarterfinals.
For sure. I mean, she's the defending champ out here. She got a win last year and proving that she can do it and in sort of any kind of heat. Obviously, this heat here was a bit slow in the beginning in the non-priority heat. A couple of little fumbles with priority against India Robinson, but she still got to work, made it happen, and dropped a couple of 7s, a 7.5 and a 7.17, just for that single turn right there. So, yeah, on a roll.
Special performance number 2. Gabby Bryan was aggressive today, Jesse.
Yeah, that's the turn of the day so far for me, together with Bella, 7 points, 3-3, I think. Right here, as you see her leaning into that, so powerful and putting 20% extra on that thing. That was amazing from her. So aggressive, so on rail.
Big 9-point ride from Gabby Bryan, winning the post show. Betty Lou, Sakura Johnson, 9-1-7 domination today.
Yeah, this wave was just so beautiful. There was only one way through it, and that was through the barrel. She wasn't going to get around that section if she didn't pull in. Backs it up with that cracking carve off the top there, comes down with the foam ball, and yeah, I mean, she loved it. I loved the hair flick. I loved the claim. It's good.
You got to create like a trophy when you win the post show. Right, Jesse?
Of course. You won the post shows. You won Wave of the Day. That was just an amazing day for Betty Lou.
And a big day, you know, so how do you settle in and start all over tomorrow? Because we talked about the marathon today, if you surfed in every round. But if you're starting from quarters tomorrow, semifinals and final, I mean, that's a marathon.
It's another big day. I think you drink a lot of water. I think you drink some electrolytes. And I think you get a lot of sleep.
What do you recommend, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm with Flick on this one. Like, there's nothing... It's pretty simple. Just hydrate yourself, have a very good rest, and because tomorrow starts fresh, it's anyone's game.
Anyone's game. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Prepare for finals day tomorrow as you check in with us. Local time, 7:45 in the morning. We'll leave you with some highlights, and we'll see you bright and early. Take care. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.